Hi, this is Kent Brown, Senior Product Manager at Microsoft. In this walkthrough, I'll demonstrate the Windows Azure Service Bus Topics, a way for you to build powerful and flexible messaging solutions for your business applications. So let's get started. Topics are an important component of the Windows Azure Service Bus. Topics enable one-to-many message delivery and filter rules based on message header data to ensure relevant delivery. With a topic, the Service Bus receives a message from the sender and enables multiple subscribers to access that message, each with its own filter rules. This capability is often referred to as Publish and Subscribe, or PubSub. PubSub allows you to design powerful and flexible messaging solutions for communications between your various applications and services. But it's better to show you than tell you, so let's do a demo. In this demo, I'm going to show you an order fulfillment application. The company has a single ordering system, but two separate warehouses for different product lines. The demo consists of a message sender that sends two types of order messages, one for paper and one for printers. A fulfillment topic with three subscriptions, one for paper, one for printers, and one for an auditing system. Three listeners to consume the appropriate order messages, one each for the product lines and one for an audit system. I'll switch to Visual Studio and we'll get started. The project is available for download from Codeplex if you want to follow along. The solution file contains a common library, a sender application, and three listener applications that represent fulfillment systems. Let me press F5. As the service bus and the topics are middleware, I want all the pieces to be running to illustrate the functionality. I've set this project up to build in the proper order and arrange the windows so you can see what it does. These four windows are simple WPF applications. The sender on the left sends orders, either paper or printer, one at a time to the service bus. The order fulfillment applications on the right listen to the service bus and process the orders relevant to their fulfillment systems. When a fulfillment application receives an order of the proper type, it increments the counter to represent processing the order. The audit system listens for all types of orders and will increment the counter for each order. I'll click the start buttons of each of the listeners and get them going. Now I'll send in an order for paper. Here's what happens. The paper message counter on the sender increments to 1. The messages received counter on the paper order fulfillment listener increments to 1. And the messages received counter on the audit system listener increments to 1. Let me send a few more just for effect. I click the paper order button one more time and the printer order button twice. Now we have 2 paper orders in fulfillment, 2 printer orders in fulfillment, and 4 audit messages. The topic uses filter rules to ensure relevant message delivery to other systems. These rules allow you to abstract messaging logic from your application and onto the service bus, eliminating the need to hard code these rules across organizational and functional boundaries. With that, let's look at how to set up a topic on the Windows Azure portal. Topics are a capability of the service bus and can be provisioned in code, so you just need to create a service bus namespace in the Windows Azure portal to use it. Once the namespace is created, you collect endpoint information from the portal. You will use these bits in the code. Next, we need to access the proper namespace, create a management credential, and namespace client. I do this in the Common Library project for both the sender and listener classes. Note that the 3 listeners are using the same class in the Common Library. Fulfillment message routing occurs because of rules declared in the topic. I create string variables to store the namespace, issuer name, and issuer key values, which I use to create the shared secret token provider and Service Bus namespace manager at runtime. With this information, the application is ready to send and receive messages through the Service Bus. Next, I reference the Microsoft.ServiceBus assembly, which allows me to interact with the Service Bus. It ships with the Windows Azure SDK and can be found in the Windows Azure SDK folder beneath Program Files on your system. Now that the project knows how to connect and consume Service Bus resources, let's walk through the code that does the actual message processing. The sender and the listener projects are WPF applications written in XAML. The code that is doing the real work is in the Common Library project. I'll talk through some of the more interesting lines. Using the namespace manager, I use a try-catch block to create a topic. If the topic already exists, my catch statement deletes it and creates a new one. You would do this differently in production, but for the purpose of this demo, I'm assured there's a topic waiting to receive messages. Next, I create 3 subscriptions, one each for audit, paper, and printer orders. I append filter rules to the paper and printer subscriptions to facilitate proper routing of those messages. You'll see the audit subscription does not have a filter. Filter rules determine which messages a subscription will receive. If a subscription has no filter rules, it will receive all the messages published by the topic. It's important to note, as a topic is a publish-subscribe model, all messages go to all subscriptions. The subscriptions act only on the messages for which their filter rules contain matching criteria. Next, I create a messaging factory, which is sort of the master object for talking to the messaging system. This involves passing in my service bus namespace and credential information. Then, using the messaging factory, I create a topic client, which is my connection to a specific topic. Then I create a brokered message, adding a property named data, which holds the text of my message, and I use the send command to send the message to the topic. Now, let's look at the listener. I use the service bus configuration data to create a messaging factory, and then create a subscription client. Using this client, the listener is ready to receive messages that meet the subscription rule. I use a try-catch block inside a while loop to check the topic for messages. If a message exists, I receive it and write to debug. If it doesn't exist, I pause for 1 second and try again. When a message is received, I pass it to a process message internal function, which for this demo just disposes of the message. And with that, the walkthrough is complete. In this presentation, we sent messages to the topic, set up subscriptions with filter rules, saw messages routed to multiple listeners, each using a different subscription, and monitored message flow. I hope you see how easy this is and the benefits topics can provide to your applications. I recommend that you test this out yourself and find out how simple topics are to set up and use. The demo code, scripts, and snippets are all available at codeplex.com. Please also go to windowsazure.com, where you can find the latest information and additional resources, including details of our current offers, information about a free trial, and how to download the SDK. Many thanks for your time.